Confetti. Confetti. Soon we're here with airplanes, bugs, flowers, cars, people, guitars. Little bits and pieces of this and that. Them, they, us, those. Spiders, birds, crawfish, ducks. City streets, buildings, leaves, and trees. What do you think it all means? Soap opera. What? Soap opera. Villains, heroes, lizards. Weird visual stuff, weird oral stuff. Music, water, rocks. Flying saucers, UFOs. Street festivals. Greensboro. Confetti. 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 Confetti.
The red one up here is called I Like Red. It's my first monochromatic study. So I was dealing mainly with composition and with light. And dealing with light, every artist does that. And that's one major backbone to painting. Controlling light, manipulating light. And that's what I try to do in a lot of my works. And with that, I like red, I tried to see how light reacted, placed against another object, because whenever you have one object and you look at it, you see a certain color. And the only reason you see that color is because of light. And whenever a painter paints, he tries to get that light on his canvas. And it's a hard thing to do, it's a real hard thing to do. And once you master it, I feel you've mastered the art of painting oftentimes. And placing that object against another object, you have a complicated amount of them, because you have one color source and then you have another color source. So you have two different types of light playing against one another. And controlling that is hard. Yeah, the thing about it is whenever artists use artificial light, sometimes they try and, that's the main reason to get away from natural light. But natural light is the best light source you could have if you really want to see what light does to an object. Because artificial or man-made light, if you're going for color, then it's going to automatically change that color, because depending on the type of artificial light, it's going to be more yellow, or it's going to be more green, it's going to be more blue. So you're going to throw these other colors in on this pure light source. Of course, then what's pure light? Because depending on the type of day you have, that's the kind of light that you're going to see on your objects reflected off of. Because light is, you're never going to see white light, because the sky is going to be always a color like a gray or a blue. It's never going to be a pure light. So, man, light's a hard thing to handle. Okay. Yeah, the one with my father, it's called Dad at Work. I did that while I was home over Christmas break.
So he's signing your check to finish school?
Actually, he's grading papers because he's a history, well, excuse me, a social science teacher, physical science. So he's just checking his papers. And I'm right now I'm trying to get back to more of this, to more of drawing, because that's what painting is a lot about. And once you learn how to draw well, then it comes through in your painting, because you learn how to deal with things simply first. And throwing in colors just complicates that matter. So drawing in pencil or charcoal helps you see things in, I hate to say it, but black or white. And that's kind of a general way of beginning to understand painting, drawing, sculpting too. Very sorry. plenty of artists have done that, especially a lot of contemporary artists. They they start out with just throwing the paint right on the canvas, because nowadays a lot of art is not about forming this ideal image or this perfect thing. It's about experience and understanding, and that's what I try for in my works. Except I try to understand it through those traditional means of like drawing it down first, or writing about it, and correcting it right there on the paper. It's one reason I like painting in oils too, because you can do that. It allows you to change, correct mistakes, because they're all mistakes, and just starting from it in one corner and then ending in another corner and saying, well, I finished the work. That doesn't make it finished. A lot of times you do have to reevaluate. You have to step back. You have to look at it. You have to cross out. You have to add. You have to delete over and over again. It's a process. Definitely is. But once you finish the painting, if you ever do actually finish the painting, then once you come to that point where you just stop and you step back and you look at it and you say, well, yeah, that's what it should be. This is what I had in mind when I began.
So it resolves itself.
Yeah, all the times it does for me. It does. I work through the painting a lot of times, and eventually, things start to shape up. Things start to form on the canvas that were there to begin with. I just had to keep at it for a while. That's all. And in a sense, that's a contemporary way of thinking too, because a lot of artists now, or especially African American artists, deal with especially and sculptors too, deal with the idea that they take a material and they start working with it and breaking away at it, and then they stop and this object is created, but it was there all the while. It's just they have to dig for it first though. Well, it's hard to get a likeness for one thing, and of course likeness isn't my strongest issue. I'm worried about it. I like to see how colors react against one another, and I also like to get value structures down from the beginning. So whenever I start out with this one, actually there's like another painting under this. I just threw like some mineral spirits on it and scraped it off, wiped it down, and then started over another. Of course, that's kind of bad because this painting might not last. It might crack because of that, but still, I did it, and I'm calling it complete.